Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, where insight meets preparation for serious currency investors. Today's topic is vital, especially if you're holding Iraqi dinar, Vietnamese dong, or Zimbabwe zim notes and want to understand how to access the highest possible exchange rate. This isn't about vague speculation or hype. It's about the concrete steps required to qualify for what's known as the contract rate, a premium value reserved for individuals and groups who meet certain standards. If you've heard of this elevated rate but aren't sure how to secure it, this breakdown could be the difference between a life-changing return and a missed opportunity. We'll walk through the criteria, behaviors, and documents you need to present yourself as a serious, trusted participant in this financial shift. Take notes, because missing even a single requirement could cost you everything. Let's start with what the contract rate actually means. Unlike the standard exchange rate you might see on public forex platforms or receive from a basic currency exchange counter, the contract rate is a higher valuation reserved for those with the right credentials, documentation, and reinvestment plans. These exclusive rates are usually offered under private agreements between institutions and currency holders deemed aligned with broader economic or humanitarian goals. The truth is, this rate isn't for everyone. It's not about luck. It's about strategy and readiness. Banks and redemption centers will be vetting participants closely, and anyone who fails to meet the requirements will simply receive the default rate. So how can you position yourself for contract rate access? First and foremost, documentation matters. Redemption centers will not take your word at face value. You'll need multiple forms of valid ID, such as a driver's license, national ID card, or passport. In addition, you must prove you acquired your currency through legal, documented channels. This means presenting receipts from licensed dealers or notarized affidavits detailing when and how you purchased your notes. If you show up without this paperwork in order, you may be flagged for review or denied altogether. Redemption centers are operating on tight schedules and will prioritize those who are clearly organized and verifiable. Another key qualification is your financial and legal standing. Contract rate eligibility requires a clean track record. That means no flags for money laundering, no unresolved legal issues, and no ties to prohibited entities. This is about accessing upper-tier financial channels, many of which are linked to sovereign entities and international organizations. If there are any blemishes on your profile, now is the time to resolve them. Some investors are already hiring legal counsel to pre-clear their records to avoid surprises during the redemption process. Don't wait until the moment arrives. Fix potential issues now so they don't cost you the opportunity later. Then comes your reinvestment strategy, which many overlook. Redemption centers prefer individuals who intend to use their exchange funds wisely. Contract rates are often connected to reinvestment plans, whether humanitarian, infrastructure-focused, or community building in nature. Even a short, well-organized proposal showing your intent to fund education, water projects, job creation, or local development could set you apart. It doesn't need to be a 50-page business plan. A simple 2-page outline with purpose and structure is often enough. The best compared currency holders are already editing and refining theirs on a weekly basis to ensure alignment with redemption priorities. Now let's talk about joining the right exchange group. While many private groups exist offering access to better rates and earlier appointment windows, not all of them are legitimate. Some are fronts for scams. Before joining any exchange group, do your due diligence. Confirm they have legal backing, a documented track record, and institutional ties. Ask for verification and never send your currency to anyone by mail or without proper safeguards. Most reputable groups will require non-disclosure agreements, verified documentation, and sometimes even your reinvestment plan in advance. If properly vetted, the benefit can be enormous. Early access to wealth desks at top-tier banks and reduced wait times at redemption centers. Your choice of bank also plays a significant role. As of mid-2025, only a select number of major banks such as Wells Fargo, HSBC, Chase, Bank of America, and Citi have been identified as participating in contract rate redemptions. Smaller regional banks may still handle your currency, but likely at the public market rate. Each institution applies its own filtering criteria. For example, HSBC may prioritize clients with investment accounts or high-value portfolios, while Chase may look for volume or strong reinvestment proposals. Blindly walking into your local branch won't help. You need to research which banks offer contract rate services and prepare accordingly. Contact their private wealth or currency exchange divisions to get ahead of the game. Finally, let's address appointment behavior. When you receive notification or a secure number to book your redemption meeting, your performance in that appointment matters more than you may think. These appointments are time-sensitive, often lasting 20 to 40 minutes, during which you must present your documentation, verify your identity, and possibly review or sign legal contracts. If you appear disorganized, argumentative, or unsure, you may be considered unfit for high-tier processing. On the other hand, presenting yourself as composed, prepared, and respectful will demonstrate to the redemption officer that you are a trustworthy and capable steward of significant capital. Now let's move into the finer details. What happens at the actual redemption appointment, and how you can maximize your outcome in those crucial moments. When the call or secure notice arrives to schedule your redemption, you won't have much time. Appointments may be limited to a tight window, possibly 20 to 40 minutes. And in that span, you'll need to present your documents, verify your identity, and sign any required contracts. Being nervous or unprepared could jeopardize your entire opportunity. Acting calm, collected, and ready shows that you're someone who can handle a large capital transition with maturity and discretion. Redemption centers are fast-paced and extremely secure environments. Everything is on a timer, and personnel are trained to evaluate your demeanor and readiness. That's why experienced investors are preparing in advance, down to the smallest detail. Many are assembling a complete redemption folder with every piece of documentation printed, clearly labeled, and digitally backed up. This includes government-issued identification, proof of purchase for your currencies, your reinvestment proposal, and signed copies of standard non-disclosure templates. Some even include bank account information, proof of address, and pre-approved trust structures to demonstrate advanced preparation. Your appearance and presentation matter more than most people realize. Walking in with loose papers or vague explanations will not impress anyone. Instead, bring a neat, professional-looking folder and know exactly where each document is located. Practice your summary explanation of your reinvestment plan. Redemption officers are not looking for perfection. They are looking for clarity, structure, and intent. When they see you're serious, they'll know you're ready for the contract rate. Another major factor is the non-disclosure agreement, the NDA. This legal contract will likely be required if you are offered a contract rate. It prohibits you from discussing your rate, redemption experience, or related financial activity with anyone outside the approved institutions. Violating the NDA can come with severe consequences, including forfeiture of funds or disqualification from future financial opportunities. This is not the time for sharing screenshots, posting online, or casually discussing your results with friends or family. Many people in the past have lost everything simply because they couldn't stay quiet. Understand the rules, follow them to the letter, and remember, discretion is your strongest form of protection. As 2025 progresses, expect a much tighter redemption timeline. Once the redemption window opens, it may not remain available for long. Appointments will be scheduled rapidly. Redemption centers are expected to operate around the clock to meet demand, but once appointment capacity is full, the window will close. Those who wait for public news confirmations or rely on social media rumors may be too late. Only those who are already organized and ready to act will make it in on time. And for those asking about Zimbabwe ZIM notes, yes, they are still being considered in specialized redemption tracks. While the ZIM isn't talked about as frequently as IQD or VND, it still carries serious potential, particularly for holders of asset-backed ZWL bond notes. These may be linked to humanitarian efforts and large-scale infrastructure reinvestment. If you hold ZIM, the process is nearly identical. Confirm authenticity, prepare proper documentation, and present a credible reinvestment proposal. Popular themes for ZIM redemption plans include agricultural development, rural health systems, renewable energy, and education. If you align your project with national or regional development goals, you may strengthen your chance of qualifying for elevated terms. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This is not just about exchanging currency for cash. This is about managing what could be multi-million-dollar wealth and doing it responsibly. That means setting up legal frameworks in advance. Consider establishing LLCs, trusts, or other asset protection vehicles that can shield your gains and provide tax efficiency. Work with a licensed financial advisor and a tax strategist who understands currency-based events. A smart tax plan could save you hundreds of thousands or more. The more money you're about to handle, the more professional your structure needs to be. Don't treat this like lottery winnings. Treat it like a legacy asset. Build a team, attorneys, tax experts, financial managers, and begin crafting a plan that turns your one-time gain into sustained generational value. This is the level of seriousness that contract rate recipients are expected to demonstrate. To recap, if you want to qualify for the contract rate, you must take action now. Gather your documents, resolve any legal or financial red flags, write your reinvestment plan, identify a trusted bank or redemption center, organize your materials in a professional format, prepare your mind and conduct, sign your NDA and keep quiet. This is not a game of chance, it's a process that rewards diligence, patience, and planning. In conclusion, the contract rate is real, but access will not be random. Those who are disciplined and prepared will move to the front of the line. Those who wait for last-minute news or neglect the requirements will miss the opportunity. What you do right now in these days before the redemption window opens will define your financial reality for years to come. So take the initiative, follow the roadmap, and make sure you're ready the moment the call comes. This has been Iraqi Dinar News, reminding you that opportunity favors the prepared. Stay alert, stay proactive, and stay connected to our updates. If this guide was helpful, share it with others in the currency community, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for daily reports and insider updates. The window is coming. Make sure you're ready to walk through it when it opens. We'll see you in the next broadcast.